name is Jonathan Mason from Self-Contained Lifestyle, and in this episode we're going to be taking this room and preparing it for painting. This is the main bedroom and there's a lot of work to be done, and I tell you what, it's going to be fun. First of all, we have to do is try and get as much of the stuff in the room out of the room so that we can have more space to work around and we don't mess any of the furniture or bedding or anything else up like that. So let's get to that. Well, as you can see, I've cleared the room, and that stuff that I couldn't clear, I put into the middle. I've made a few snapshots of all the bits and pieces of work that I have to do, the repairs. But the first thing I have to do now is get ground sheets and put them all over the floor and cover all the furniture that I do not want to be damaged. I'll be back after I've done. Well, hello. I'm back again, and I've got a whole lot of dust sheets now that I need to put down and cover all the remaining furniture in this room before we start looking at all the bits and pieces that we've got to do. So let me get to that right now. I'll use this green one to cover the main bed here and this little cabinet that I've got on the side here. This will protect it nicely. But it's just a little more work, and so it's best to try and avoid it. There we are. Now I'm going to show you, I want to start working on the frame of the alcove first. There's a little notch out, I'll show you now. This is what you're looking at now, is the frame of the alcove. It has a little notch out of it, which is not too serious because I do want to put an architrave, I don't know if you can see, that goes over this, because there's going to be a blind that comes behind this and it'll cause like a little channel. But I want to fill this hole anyway, so the first thing I've got to do is take measurements of how big it is. That's about 7.5 centimeters by about just over 3.5. So we'll go out and I'll come back just now and see if I can get a piece of wood. Just a bit of scrap wood that I've got lying around the yard, to see if I can get something that fits into that. Okay, well, I'm back, and I've got a nice little piece of wood that I think will fit very nicely in that little piece of cutout there. So let's just see how it goes, measure it up and fit it in. Okay, so this is a piece of wood here that actually fits very, very nicely. It's going to be a little proud, so I might have to recess this bit back a bit because it seems to be catching over here. Mind you, there's a bit of a step there, so I'll have to sort that out. But let's just mark off where I think I'll need to cut it, and we'll take it from there. So I'll get my pencil behind here and just draw a line in. Let's hope the line is there. Yep, it's over there if you can see it. This is the line over here that I've drawn in. Now I just need to cut along that, and then we'll try and fit this piece of wood in. Now I don't have my bench with me, but if I just take this now and we'll just cut along that line and see how it fits. I'll just hold it here, and I've got to go gently because I don't have anything to clamp the wood down. Let me just... Okay, we'll just have a look and see how it fits. That should be going into here. That fits quite nicely, except along the side here you can see it's a little bit proud, and it's going to have to go in probably about 2 millimeters. So I'm going to get my saw and my file, and we'll just sort of grate that in a bit. Here, I'll get this and we'll just try and reset it back a bit. It's almost there. We've got about another millimetre or so to go. But just a little more filing. Just a fraction more. There we are, that's good. That fits nicely. Now, I'll just have to get some glue and put it in there and glue it in. I've got some wood glue now, but before I glue it, I want to drill a little pilot hole so I can put a screw into it to hold it in place while the glue sets. So let's do that now. Okay, I have the piece of wood here. Now I'm going to get a clamp and I'm going to clamp it on this other piece of wood so that when the drill goes through it doesn't just come flying out the end, and it makes it a little safer to do this. So just clamp it on the other piece of wood. Then I'm going to get the drill over here and we're going to drill the first hole through. I just want one hole. That should be enough. Now I want to replace the drill bit with a bigger one to countersink the screw. I want to countersink because I don't want the head to be proud. I want it to go below the surface so that I can then put polyfiller on, wood filler on top, and make it invisible and give a nice smooth finish. There we go. That finished. Now we can glue it and screw it and glue it into place. Okay, now I'm going to run a bead of glue all around this surface. So I'll just put it down, nice little bead of glue, get it all over like that, and then we'll slip this into place. Oops. There we are, we'll get that into place. Now I've already placed the screw in here. So with a screwdriver now, I'll just screw it in. And that's going in very, very nicely. And that's perfect. A little loose there still, just give it a nip. Now that screw is merely to hold this piece of wood into place while it dries. But I won't have to take it out now because I've recessed it and I can just come up with wood filler afterwards and fill it all up. Well, the glue is dried and now it's time for me to put the filler in. Behind here there's a couple of spots where the wood is a little bit rough, so I'm just knocking them in with the back end of my scraper. And now I've got some brown filler here, and brown wood filler. So now I'll just smear it over, force it into all the little joins, and being careful just to get it onto the affected area, and just smear it and work it in nicely so that it really covers up all the joints, and getting a nice smooth and even finish like that. And then afterwards I'll be able to come with the sandpaper when it's all nice and dry and finish it off. But this is looking almost smooth. When I sand it down, be nice, smooth, even joint. But like I say, I don't have to be too careful with this, because I'm going to be putting an architrave on this to have a blind slide up and down a channel so it's nice and concealed. But that'll come at a much later date when I've got a bit more money to do things. At the moment, all I'm trying to do is get this little piece of work patched, repaired and painted, ready for the paintwork, and that I can make it habitable so that I can move in. Quite a bit of work, that. Okay, well that's good enough for now before I sand it. I've got a few more joints to do, and then I'll be back. Yes! Please subscribe!